Thank you everyone for being here. Welcome to our demo event where hopefully you can learn a few more things about Founderhood and see how you can boost your startup organization, your startup programs with our product. I am Yanis. I'm the marketing responsible of Founderhood, and I'm here to welcome you and also share the agenda of today's demo event. We will start with a 5-minute presentation about Founderhood and what we are trying to achieve here. And then we will go to the main bullet of the event, which is a short demo of the current situation of our product. And we will leave 5 minutes at the end to have a short Q&A session to answer all the questions that you might have and might pop up during the demo or the presentation in the beginning. So to start with the presentation, if I can make a small introduction, Founderhood started because we noticed that the innovation ecosystem is growing and is changing, and with it, startup program managers, from having to manage just their programs locally, they started evolving into creating and managing small ecosystems and trying to offer opportunities to their founders globally. And having said that, I'm going to give the pass to our co-founder, Dimitris Dimosiaris, to further explain this concept that I introduced. So, Dimitri.
Hi, Yanis. Thank you. It's great to be here with you. And super happy also to share, a few more stuff about Founderhood. At the beginning, what has changed a little bit in the innovation ecosystem, because I think a lot of amazing things have happened the last couple of years. So I have a presentation. I'm going to share it in a moment. Yeah, can you see my presentation? Is everything great?
Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, as I was preparing, for this call, I was really happy, to see that, the last couple of years I've witnessed a lot of changes, in the innovation ecosystem, especially the last more than a decade. A lot of things have evolved pretty fast, and a lot of things have changed in the innovation ecosystems pretty much for every stakeholder that has involved in this whole thing. And we are right now, as we say on Founderhood, we are in the innovation ecosystem 2.0 era. And that's because, a lot of things have changed the last 10 years. And especially if you see it from the perspective of the organizations that run either incubation or acceleration programs, there are quite a few transformation changes the last almost 20 years. When the first program started from Silicon Valley, the Y Combinator and the term accelerator, a lot of things changes. Back then everything was super local, and the only thing that the people who ran the program cared about was the startups that were going through that program. There were very few investors that paid attention, and all of them pretty much were based in the SF. So this has changed a lot, the next 5 years. These programs grown a little bit in popularity. They start having also some alumni coming from the programs. But pretty much the innovation ecosystems around the globe were immature, besides, the biggest ones like SF and Israel. The whole world was, the other parts of the world were super immature, the innovation ecosystems. But this has changed rapidly, from 2010 to 2016. The innovation ecosystems around the globe, have pretty much exploded. There were a lot of new players in this whole game. There were many angel investors. There were much more VCs that pop up pretty much everywhere. Corporates also start paying attention, and start involving, with the whole innovation ecosystems and the startups and all that stuff that were going around the incubators and accelerators. So right now, a person who's running such an organization, they had to build pretty much something like a micro local ecosystem. You had to manage a lot of different stakeholders, evaluators, mentors coming from different parts of a country, investors as well, also coming from different parts of the country and stuff like that. But this has changed also rapidly from 2016 to where we are today, where a person who is running such an organization who runs even incubation or acceleration programs, has pretty much to manage a micro global ecosystem. A lot of has to maintain relationships with investors both in the same country but also in other countries, has to have some connections, especially industry connections with corporates who might be based in another country. A lot of mentors have been involved in programs coming from different parts of the world. So a lot of things have changed in the last couple of years. And there wasn't only the part that had to do, with the people who run these organizations, but also something that changed rapidly the last couple of years is what the startups expect from startup programs like an incubator or an acceleration program. So in the very beginning, they accepted some very basic stuff, like, having some mentoring, meeting maybe some local investors and stuff like that. But right now, this has changed completely. Everyone who goes through a program, expects access to smart capital, not just capital. That means to angel investors or VCs or corporate VCs that are not based only in the country, but are based in other parts of the world, who have expertise in the industry. They expect connections with clients, both local, but also clients coming from abroad, partnership, access to networks. And lastly, but not least, they expect also access to talent. So they expect an organization, an acceleration program or incubation program to help them attract some people for their team, either as co-founders or some early employees. So this landscape has changed from both sides, both for the organizations who run such programs, but also for the people who these organizations serve, which are the startups, of course. And this thing is also happening when, in the meantime, the whole market becomes much more congested by day. So these are numbers that are based on numbers that exist in public databases like Crunchbase. So if you see 2016, there were around 3,000 programs, and 2023, they were doubled. And our experience has shown that are much more than double, but of course, we don't have the data to show that. And if someone monitors, what the biggest organizations do in the whole globe, they have pretty much reinvented, as we call it, themselves. They have focused on building a global community. And if you see how Y Combinator positions itself, doesn't position as an accelerator, but position as the most powerful startup community in the world. Because right now the startups across the program, they're not based very locally in the SEF. They're based pretty much around the globe. They have alumni based around the globe. They have investors who invest in their startups who are also based in different parts around the world. So this has become much more complicated. And of course, Texas has pretty much something like similar, which they position themselves as the largest startup network in the world, not like an accelerator network. Because now if you go through a program, you have access to corporates who support their programs across the globe. You have access to their alumni who are also positioned around the globe. They have a lot of programs for startups from around the globe. So it's a totally different mindset. And the common thread in both cases is that they understand the power of the micro global ecosystems, supporting startups not only for the time period that a startup goes through a cohort, but supports them long term. And that means that the value that they provide to the startups have to be, from the time that they get inside the program until the startup exits or dies or whatever happens. And they want this support, to be pretty much anywhere in the globe in a real time, 24/7. You need to have access to global resources, and you need also to engage with all the innovation stakeholders that both the local and also the global ecosystem has. And this is like a new way of thinking. And right now, most organizations operate like the first ones. They have the startups that go through their cohorts, and maybe at best they manage their alumni startups. They do a few things around them, but this is totally different, from what you need, to actually thrive in this new ecosystem era, which is to have the startups at the epicenter and pretty much have everything around the cohort, like, give them access to the alumni, like providing perks, having mentors both locally and also globally, and also after they graduate the programs, to keep providing value, keep providing perks, let them provide their products to the rest of the people, to the rest of the startups that go through the programs. As a perk, they expect, to find talent through the organizations that supported them, etc. So that's a very big difference. And of course, what we have heard is that, right now, if you are these organizations like, Y Combinator or Texas, you have very big budgets. It's easy, for them to hire a software team, to hire, software developers, hire project managers that are going to manage their tools, build their own custom solutions and stuff like that. But this is super difficult, for a small organization who is either, in a immature innovation ecosystem or doesn't have, the budget that these two big organizations have. So that's what we build Founderhood. We want, to assist pretty much every innovation stakeholder, like the people who are running startup programs, either incubators or accelerators, to be able to live in this new ecosystem era and provide a tool to pretty much run their own micro global ecosystem and make it super easy for them to do it. And of course, we offer all these kind of solutions. We are going to see them also in the demo afterwards. So I'm not going to go through them in very detailed right now, because we're going to see them on the platform in a bit. And that's, for us, is pretty much only the beginning, because this platform, we like to involve it into a tool for every innovation stakeholder and then connect them all together, which is our long-term goal. And this all has already started. Right now there have been created on Founderhood more than 150 programs. 1,500 startups have either taken part or have applied, to participate in a program. That means that around 1,800 founders, more than that number, have joined the platform. We have also had the pleasure to work with some amazing organizations from around the globe. And that's it. That's some of our current users that are using, the platform to run their programs. There's some testimonials you can see. And of course, if you would like to be part of this new innovation ecosystem 2.0, as we call it, if you would like to use the platform, feel free to connect with us today. We are going to see also a little bit afterwards the demo. So yeah, Jens, that was it from me, from the presentation side. And yeah, give me a minute to prepare for the demo.
Thank you, Dimitri. So as Dimitri said, if you're also someone that is trying to join our journey into revolutionizing the innovation ecosystem, if you're trying to support the innovation ecosystem, we highly encourage you to connect with us through LinkedIn and to see how we can collaborate together. And also, if you're running a program, we also have a podcast sharing stories and knowledge of other managers around the world, and a blog where it is basically designed to help program managers run their programs more effectively and, boost them. So I'm going to send the links of all that into the chat, but also leave them in the description for anyone watching this video afterwards. So yeah, and Dimitri, whenever you're ready with the demo, you can also start.
Yeah, give me a minute to share my screen. So yeah, you should be able to see right now my screen. So that's the homepage of Founderhood. We're going to see it from the perspective of an organizer, from an organization that runs either incubation or acceleration programs. And we're going to see the four solutions that we offer. The first one has to do with the application management. The second one has to do with what you can do on the main part of the program, as we call it, after you select the startups that go through the application cycle. We're going to see also the alumni management. And last but not least, we're going to see also how you can combine the data coming from across all your cohorts, across all the programs that you may run, maybe in different locations as well, how you can view all of them in one single interface. So that's the four things we're going to see in this demo. So that's, as I mentioned before, is the homepage that someone sees when enters as an organizer on Founderhood. And below that, there are all the programs that an organization may run. So on that point, it's good to say that an organization can have as many programs as they would like inside the platform, and they can run as many programs as you could like in parallel. There's no limitation like that. So we're going to see a program, how a program looks like, because that's the most interesting thing. And the regular program looks like this. So this is something you are going to use for every cohort you are running. And here there are the two main products that I mentioned before, the two main solutions. The first one has to do with the applications, and the second one has to do with the main part of the program, which has much more stuff. So everything on the platform is pretty much customizable and modular. So you can use the platform, you can use Founderhood just to receive and evaluate applications, or you can use it just to run the main part of the program, or you can use it in a program like this one, which has both applications and the main part of the program running, and has all the features enabled. So having said that, every program comes with a landing page, which is the way that that a startup can apply either to the program or participate in the program. So a landing page has pretty much all the common information you expect from a landing page, and looks like this one. So it's quite basic. It has all the main stuff that the startup needs before applying or participating in the program. And then pretty much the next thing that you see is that you can create, your own application form that you would like, the startups to fill in order to apply for your program. And then it's super easy. You can have either the landing page shared, or you can have this link pretty much connected with your own landing page. So the startups can apply directly from the landing page that you maybe have already for the program. They can apply directly on Founderhood. So after you do these two things, these super easy things, you can start receiving applications, and you will start seeing them on your dashboard. So here you can see all the applications. The startups can also save as draft an application. And if you would like a little bit before the application deadline, you can also email people who are in a draft mode. So you can email all the startups in a draft mode to push them to finalize their applications and make them submit it before the deadline. So that's one thing you can do. And then pretty much everything has to do with the evaluation part. When the whole application cycle ends, you enter into the evaluation phase, where you have different options. The first one is that you can invite external evaluators just by entering their email. And then you can have different stuff, like you can have different criteria based on which you can evaluate every application. You can have different application phases, like this program has only two, but you can have different ones, like, you can have an interview phase, you can have a first screening, etc. And then there are some much more advanced settings, like you can assign specific evaluators to specific applications. You can change the grading scales, etc. But that's a little bit much more advanced settings. And of course, the most interesting part is how you can evaluate an application. So if I click on this startup here, you will see the questions you had, the answers that the startup has submitted. And of course, on the right, you have different stuff. I have evaluated the startup, but here you can evaluate the startup based on the criteria you have set, both you and also the potential evaluators you might have included in the process. You can have also different discussions between the other team members or the evaluators based on this specific application. You can also keep notes, this is especially helpful if you do interview phases, etc. You can also provide both you and your evaluators can provide anonymous feedback direct to the startup for every application they have submitted. And of course, for you as an organizer, you can see all the evaluators and their scores, from one single view. So that's a little bit on everything that have to do with the whole evaluation phase. So there are quite a few more stuff, going on around this. You can move also to different phases, the evaluations. But that's the basic around the solution that has to do with the application. And the last thing that you do after your evaluation process is you have to send an email to inform the people who have been rejected and inform also the people who have passed, in the main part of the program. So you can do everything directly from Founderhood. So from here, you can say, I want to email all the people, all the startups in the all applications that they have been rejected. You can also have some ready templates prepared, so you can send it super easily. And of course, inform the finalists that have been selected to participate in the main part of the program. And then pretty much it starts a whole new cycle, which has to do with your cohort. So every cohort, all the startups that are going to participate in the cohort, you can see them from here. And there are a lot of things that you can do when you start your program that have to do with all the startups that participate in the program, or you can manage, every startup individually. So I'm going to show you a little bit what you can do for all your program or your main part of the program. So the first thing you can do is that you can customize it exactly. You can customize the software and the tool exactly to the needs of your program. So if, for example, you don't want, if you don't share an educational material, you can just remove the library. You can also bring your custom colors, etc. So this is something that where you can bring your own logo, your own colors, and if I click on the review program, you will be able to see at any moment, exactly how your founders are going to see the whole material that you shared with them. And here you can see also the custom logo and the custom colors. You can also have, announcements. That's pretty useful, to keep everyone updated about what's happening inside the program every week or every month. And that's a great point also to mention that if you notify startups, there are three things to notify your participants. The first is through email. The second is through Slack integration that we have. You can see here. So if they have this enabled, means that the startup has connected their Slack account with Founderhood, and they can receive their updates about what's happening inside your program. And the third one, of course, is through any platform notifications. So that's the three ways to notify them. There is also the library where you can share different material. This is right now like outside links, so you can have PDFs, videos, etc. You can also split your startups in groups based on different locations, based on different interests as well. And you can share different content with them. You can have different discussions. You can also engage here the mentors. So I'm going to speak a little bit about the mentors and the experts. You can also host different sessions like workshops, Q&As, etc. when it comes to your program. And there are different options that you can use, to run a session. You can use our own custom solution, which is called Founderhood Interactive, where everyone has, like in Zoom that we have right now with audio and video. There is also the option to broadcast directly from either YouTube or Vimeo on Founderhood, and that's how it looks like a session. So you have the video and image pretty much here. You have also live chat that everyone can share some stuff, and then you have the forum, which pretty much works like a regular forum. You have different channels, you can create them, delete them, etc. And there you have different topics. Inside these topics, you have different discussions as well. Then is the expert part. So here you can invite some people that you don't like to have some weekly interaction or monthly interaction with the startups, and the startups can go and book a call with them. So that usually in some programs are called external mentors. So that's a place where you can invite them directly from here. You can invite your experts. The experts will receive an invitation link. They can go then on Founderhood, create a profile. They will put also their availability on Founderhood, on us, and then your startups, they will see them like that. And they can go and book a call with them whenever they feel they need them. They can schedule also them based on different criteria, on the skills that they have, on the industry that they have expertise, etc. And of course, for you as an organizer, you can also monitor all these meetings with the expert meeting analytics, where you can see everything that's happening between your external experts or external mentors, as you call them, between them and your startup. You can see all the completed calls they have made, any feedback that may have lived as well from these calls. You can also monitor if you compensate financially these experts or mentors. You can also monitor the costs. And of course, you can search based on a specific expert or a specific startup, exactly how the calls they have done, the cost you have to pay them, etc. So that's one of the solutions around the expert calls. You can also monitor the progress of your startups. So here you can create a form that you can receive different KPIs, you can receive different text as well, like you can say, what's your main KPI or what's your goals for the next week, like this one. And you can create for a startup up to 3 charts like these ones, where you can see, in a glimpse pretty much, you can see how your startups are evolving throughout your program. And there are different settings you have around the progress reports, like you can have them run in a weekly basis or in a monthly basis, or pretty much run forever. The startups will also receive a notification when the deadline approaches, etc. You can also share different perks with your startups. So you have any credits or any discounts from services like AWS or stuff like that. You can share it from here. And last but not least, you can also download different reports, as we call them, in a CSV format, based on your startup data, your users' data, or the progress updates that I showed you a little bit before. So you can manage them by yourself. You can create maybe new charts or see some trends between your startups, etc. And that's all the stuff that I described you a little bit before, have to do with all the startups inside the program. But there is also a lot of things you can do for each startup. So usually, if you would like to manage every startup in a startup level, you might be able to, you're able also to assign a specific mentor. So you can invite mentor exactly as you invite experts or evaluators, and you can assign them to different startups. You can, for example, have one mentor just for a specific startup. And if you click to manage a specific startup, you will be able to see, you will be able to see that view. So here, both you as an organizer, but also a mentor that maybe you assign to the startup will have access to the screen. So here you can say a few things about how you're going to work with the startup. You can share different files also with them. Your mentors and your startups can also exchange different files like, pitch decks, financials, etc. You can also assign tasks or monitor the tasks that your mentor assigns to every startup. You can also have different discussions between you as an organizer and all the members of the specific startup. You can also have some discussions between you as an organizer and the mentor you have assigned to this particular startup. So here you can discuss about the progress of the startup, how it's progressing, what they need to pay attention, what you need to make their work easier between the mentor and the startup. You can also monitor the different calls between mentors and the startups. You can also receive also feedback about what's discussed during the meeting, or how it went, etc. So that's something you can monitor very easy from the platform. So that's a little bit about the things you can do around current program, and the program has to do, with every cohort you run. So for every cohort that you run, you will need a new program as well. And of course, at any moment, as I said before, you can email everyone directly from the platform, like the people who are all the startups in the main program, the different groups, etc. So that has been, the stuff around the program. There are two last things that I want to show you before I end my presentation and the demo. So the next thing we're going to see is the alumni program. The alumni program is pretty much similar like a regular program, but has a little bit some different settings. And the last thing is the insights, as we call it, which is the part that combines the data across your whole organization, across your whole cohort, programs, etc. So if we enter, if we go back on the home page, so here you will see, if you have the right pricing package, you will see you can create an alumni program. So the alumni programs looks like this one. So as you can see, it's pretty much similar, like a program without the application part, but has some different settings. So in this program, you can invite startups, you can add startups from the other programs that you run inside Founderhood, or if you have startups that haven't created a profile on Founderhood and haven't either applied or participated in the program, you can use this link. So from this link, you can invite them to join the alumni program. And from here, you can use pretty much all the stuff that you use in a regular program. You can email all of them. You can continue sharing some content with them, like announcement. You can still continue posting library content. You can split them also in groups. You can also have different, you can also have some progress updates, so you can monitor how they evolve after they have graduated from their programs. And here on the settings, these updates run on a yearly basis, so you can have a connection with them and monitor them afterwards, after they leave the program. But also there are two other things before we leave the alumni program that's important to mention. So the one is that if you click on the preview program on where the startups have access, all the startups that are in your alumni community, they have access to the community, as we call. So here in the community tab, you will be able to see all the other members who are part of the alumni. They can see all the other startups as well. And also it's important for your current cohorts as well, because the current cohort or your current cohorts are going to have access. So if you go back to a program like this one, so here in the community, you will be able, or your startups that go through your current cohort, they will have access to all the people in their cohort, but they will have access also to the alumni. So that's an important scope in order to, an important feature, because your startups will have access to all the alumni, and this will create, a community around your programs, which is super important. So the last thing that we have to see today is the insights, as we call it. So in the insights is the part where, all the data across your whole organization, all your programs, all your startups that either have participated or have applied for one of your programs, you can see them in a glimpse super fast. You can also search with different criteria to see all of them who have applied, who have participated in the program. You can see different statistics around them, in which industries they were based, like these ones. And you will have here also pretty much like a table, like a database with all the startups that either have applied or participated in one of your programs. And here it would be also in a glimpse see exactly what the startup has done. Let's click on this one. So here you can see like this startup has applied, and you can view their application very fast, but they have also participated in one programs. They have submitted these progress updates. They have done these tasks. And of course, you can see at any moment also the information around their startup. If they have any new team members, you will be able also to see them, etc. And also you can see, all the stuff have applied, etc. And of course, search through them based on different filters. And you can do that for startups. You can do that also for users, which is pretty much the startup members, the people that a startup has either invited as a co-founder or has invited as a person in their team. So you will be able to see all of them from the insights with a glimpse of an eye. And of course, you can have different data around the mentors, the experts that participated in your programs. And that's pretty much all the stuff you can do with insights. Last thing maybe that has some interest to see is that you have also direct messages. So from the direct messages, you can send some messages to different people that participate in your programs, either as evaluators, as mentors, as experts, or you can direct message, some founders. You can create also some group conversations, etc. So that's pretty much all the stuff you can do with the platform. So we have gone through it very thoroughly, I think, Yanis. And yeah, maybe I think it's the time, to hear the audience if they have any questions, because I think that's the most important thing. So yeah, Yanni, we'll go back to you. And yeah, we'll stop sharing my screen for a bit.
Thank you,
And
Dimitri.
if needed, I can do it again. Mm-hmm.
Indeed, because we don't have much time, I think we can quickly move to the questions that we have here. We have quite a few questions from the chat, but also from LinkedIn. And I would say let's try to answer as many as we can now. And if there are more questions, we can get back to you with the answer after the meeting, or feel free to approach us on LinkedIn to ask us anything as well. But for now,
we can drop our emails also on chat as well.
yes, that's something we can do. So I will share the email at the end. Okay, we can start with the first question. I think if you're ready, there is a question from Mary, and she asks, what is the pricing of the tool and how much does it cost to use it?
Yeah, so our pricing is pretty transparent. It's also public on our website. So if someone goes to thefounderhood.com right now, they will be able to see all the packages that we offer. We have a very big free package that every organization can use today pretty much. And 99% that I showed you, especially around the application part, is pretty much free. The whole thing around the main program, 95% of it as well, it's free. I will have it on the free package. The only thing that the free package has is some limitations or some much more customizable features, or it has a limitation of 50 startups and one admin. So if you like to have much more admins, much more people from your team, you will need to upgrade the package. Or if you need more startups that go through the main part of the program, who participate in your programs, in your cohorts, then you will also need a bigger package. So yeah, that's the three stuff that the pricing package needs to take into consideration before you buy a package. The number of the startups that go through a program, the maximum number of startups that go through a program. The second has to do with the number of admins. And the third one has to do with the features you would like to use.
Thank you. And the next question is from Nemo. Since there are different product types, like you explained, do I have to use all of them, or can I use just, one of them or two?
Yeah, as I mentioned when I started the demo, everything on the platform is pretty much modular. So you can use the platform just to receive and evaluate applications. You can use it just to run the main part of your cohort programs, or you can use it just for the alumni part. But yeah, usually the organizations get the most value when they use pretty much everything, because that's easier for the startups to have just one place where they can find everything from their application to everything around the stuff that you need when you participate in a program, the progress updates, forms, the sessions, and then after the program, the alumni part, you have all of them, in one single tool. So that's easier for them, but you can use it on a separate base as well. You have to check the pricing for some stuff, like the alumni part is based in different packages, but yeah, you can use it only for a specific solution.
Thank you, Dimitri. Next question is from Chris. How can I move from another tool that I'm currently using to Found?
So yeah, that's quite easy. The initial step is to communicate with us first, because if you would like some data from your previous software to be able to move on Founderhood, we are the only ones that we can do to set everything up so you can find them when you start. But yeah, besides that, there is no other thing you can do.
Thank you. And the next question is from Maria. How is the onboarding process of the platform, and how much time do I have to invest to learn how to use it?
So yeah, usually what we have seen on that, and we do also on the onboarding stuff, which is something you can buy, but even if you don't buy, we have a lot of videos online. So we can drop also the link on our YouTube channel where we have a lot of videos how you can use the platform. But usually in a few hours, we have seen most people, getting very familiar with the platform because it's very easy to navigate, very easy to use as well. So we have seen people, in a matter of hours, getting experts on Founderhood, and it depends also on what products you would like to use. So usually the more products is a little bit, maybe a little bit more complicated. But if, for example, you would like to start receiving applications for your program, you can do it pretty much. You just need to see a video of some minutes and you're pretty much ready. Because the whole UX is super easy to use and something that we build the product around that. So everyone at every organization that runs startup programs, either incubation or acceleration programs, can start using it pretty much today. But yeah, if you would like to use all the solution, the whole solution, maybe it will take a few hours just to learn pretty much everything.
Thank you. Another Dimitris here asks, every time I run a new program, do I need to recreate everything from scratch?
So yeah, right now you need to recreate most of the stuff in the newer version that we are preparing and it's going to be live starting from September. All this stuff will be automated. You could super easy, duplicate a program, for example, where you had already some settings on it, like, maybe some different criteria you had on the application part, you had, different content there. You can just duplicate that, but this will be, you'll be able to do it starting from September on.
Thank you. A question from Peter. Can I use the program after I have completed my program's application phase?
So yeah, if I understand correctly, is if you can use the main part of the program after the application has ended.
Yeah, can I use the platform probably after I have completed the application phase of my program?
Yeah, if you try to use it only for your application and you like to stay on Founderhood to run also the main part of your program, yes, of course, it's something that you can do. It wasn't very clear on the demo part because I saw the program that has gone through the application phase and all the parts around the main part of the program were open. But what you do if you have received your applications, you will see a button that says Start Your Program. So either if you would like to learn the main part, you can click on it, or you can just receive the application and be happy with that. So both of them can work on the platform. It wasn't very clear though on the demo.
Thank you. Next question is from Georgia. What is the difference between a mentor and an expert?
So yeah, we have these these two separate words, as we call them, mentors and experts on the platform. Because yeah, for every program is quite different. This, a lot of people call the experts as we have them on the platform like mentors, and the opposite maybe. But what it means on the platform is that for us, for Founderhood, actually for the platform, the mentor is someone who has weekly engagement or monthly engagement with every startup. They can do much more stuff. They have access to the data of the startup. They can share with them files. They can also discuss with them. They can create meetings between each other. The mentor can also monitor their progress through the progress update. There are a lot of different things like a mentor can do. For us, the experts are people who are outside the program, usually, that they don't have such a close relationship, let's call it, that's the best word, with the startups. And the only thing they can do pretty much is meet startups in different calls. So that's pretty much the only thing they can do. Of course, they can also discuss through the direct message feature with the startups that they have seen, but pretty much the only thing they can do is book calls and then meet with the startups.
Thank you. And Nikhil, I hope I pronounced it correctly. Nikhil is asking, how can I start using the platform? Can I do it on my own, or I would need your help to set it up?
Yes, I mentioned, I think it was a similar question a bit before with the support and all of the onboarding part. So yeah, you don't need pretty much us. You can go on the website right now on thefounderhood.com and click the button Start for free. So you can create your account, you can start creating your first programs, you can start receiving applications, and we can drop also the YouTube link where we have the videos where we explain most of the stuff of how the platform is working. We have also a support page where you can submit if you have any questions, etc. We have also some email, support email, where you can set some questions if you have. But yeah, pretty much everyone can do it right now, right after the call. Pretty much create their organization, create their profile, and start creating their first program. And this will take some minutes, as I showed. Usually the most heavily task that you have to do, especially if you have you want to receive applications, is to create the form. That takes a little bit time usually, because you have to bring all the questions, etc., inside the platform. But besides this task, everything else is happening in minutes, so you can be up and running today pretty much.
Amazing. And we have two more questions. The first is Katarina. Can I switch an evaluator to a mentor while the program is still running?
Yeah, I guess switching from a mentor to evaluator does make a lot of sense because the program has started, so there is no need to evaluate. Usually the opposite we see in programs where an evaluator becomes also a mentor as well, and a lot of them shift them when the program starts. So yeah, this is something that you can do. We didn't show it on the profile, on the demo, but it's something that you can do extremely easy. There's a place where you can see all the mentors and the evaluators, so you can change their role. The thing that you cannot do is make an expert mentor or evaluator. Between evaluators and mentors, you can change this role super easy.
Thank you. And last question from Jack, and I really like this one. What is the next big thing coming on the platform? Can you share?
The next big thing. So yeah, there are quite a lot of stuff we have on our product roadmap for the upcoming months. So there are a lot of improvements, integrations with other tools like Zoom, like also with Zapier. That's something that has been asked by a lot of program managers and super important, especially if you would like to move data from Founderhood to other tools that you use, for example, newsletter tools or stuff like that. These kind of integrations are always amazing for the people who are running programs. As I mentioned before, we have the duplicate feature that's super important, so you don't have to do when you create a new program, you don't have to do all the same work again and again. What else? There is also the tools, a lot of features and things that have to do around your startups that go through your programs. The startups that go right now through your programs, they cannot do a lot of things between each other. The only thing they can do is just discuss, direct message each other. But right now in the newer version, they will be able also to upload their job positions, their open positions they might have on their team. If they are searching also for a co-founder, they will be able also to upload their different products that they have. So that's something that can happen between startups, but also an organization can take advantage because you will have a page where you can see you have a public profile right now, and on this public profile they will display all this stuff like all the open positions in your program, in your startup that go through your programs, or their products, which is super important, and they will help a lot in what I described in my presentation on how you can assist your startups that go through your programs to find new clients, to hire new people, etc. So that's also for us, both going through programs, but also running our own programs was super, super important.
Amazing. So a lot of exciting things on the roadmap, and I think this is a good point to close slowly today's meeting. I want to thank you a lot,
Mhm.
Dimitri, for showing us Founderhood, and thank you everyone for joining. And for the ones that will be watching this from YouTube or LinkedIn, you will be able to find all the relevant links in the descriptions. And we highly encourage you to connect with us on LinkedIn, and we're open for any kind of chat, any question, or any type of collaboration. Yeah, I don't know, Dimitri, if you want to say anything.
No, I think I have spoken quite a lot today. And thank you, Yanis, for moderating the whole session today. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone else who was today with us.
And have a great night.